Namaste children, welcome back again to this virtual class. So in the past episode we have discussed about some of the most important chemical properties of acids and bases. We have also seen how strength of an acid or a base could be identified on the basis of pH scale. So we have seen that when we talk about the pH scale, the value of pH scale ranges from 0 to 14, and in that we have seen lesser the value, more will be the acidic character, greater the pH value, the greater will be the basic strength. So more the value, basic strength increases, lesser the value, acidic strength will be more. So this way we have understood pH scale. Moving further, we have also seen the neutralization reaction, acid base chemical reaction. So we have learned that whenever an acid reacts with a base, we get the salt, right? Now in today's episode we will be learning what will be the chemical nature of the salt so obtained from acid base reaction, whether the salt is neutral, whether the salt obtained will be acidic or basic, right? So this episode is all about knowing more about the family of salts. Let us now learn the chemical behavior of the salts. Before going to learn this, some of the things that you should know. You should know the parent acid and parent base from which the salt is obtained, number one. Number two, you should know the weak acid, strong acid, weak base and a strong base. If you could know these things, then you can easily find the chemical nature of the salt. So firstly, we will see the weak acids, weak bases, strong bases and strong acids. So dear students, look at the screen here. Hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid are considered to be strong acids. So always keep in mind that these acids are available in the lab. All these laboratory acids are classified under strong acids. And potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, barium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, all these are the strong bases. When we talk about the weak acids and weak bases, formic acid, acetic acid, oxalic acid, all these acids are classified under weak acids, whereas ammonium hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, zinc hydroxide, all these hydroxides are considered under weak bases. So now you are much clear about the strong acids, strong bases, weak acids and weak bases. On the basis of this information, this knowledge, we can find the chemical nature of the salt so obtained as a result of acid base reaction. Dear students, in order to find that, we should have the knowledge of the combination of acids, bases, weak acids, and let us understand this, and from that you can easily know the chemical nature of the acid. Students, suppose if the base which we are making reaction, that is a strong base, reacts with the strong acid, will give you a salt which is of neutral. Got it? Likewise, if weak base reacts with weak acid, then also we get a salt that will be neutral. So from this we can understand that either of strong acid or strong base or weak base of and weak acid gives you salt of neutral. So the chemical nature will be neutral. Now remaining other two types, let us see here. When a strong base reacts with weak acid, then what type of salt we will get? Likewise, when weak base reacts with the strong acid, in that case also, in all the cases, strong base, strong acid, we are going to get neutrals, weak base, weak acid, we are going to get a neutral. But if the base chosen is strong and acid is weak, in that case, the strong will be preferred or dominated. So the acid so formed will be, here you see the strong is base, so the salt will be basic. Got it? Now here you see weak base reacts with the strong acid. Here strong will be dominated, so domination is acidic, so the salt will be acidic. Got it, children? So by this information we can easily find the nature of the salt obtained. Let us talk about some of the familiar salts. So when we talk about the salts, sodium chloride is one of the salt which we find it in our home. We call it as a common salt, right? Sodium chloride is there, potassium nitrate is there, right? Then zinc sulfate is there. Then we can sodium carbonate is there, Na2CO3. So all these are some of the examples of the salts, right? Now we don't know the nature of the salts, whether it is neutral, acidic or basic. Let us find out. First we will see about the sodium chloride. So sodium chloride, we should find the parent base and parent acid. So we write the formula of NaCl. Always keep in mind, children, the first part, that is the cationic part, is obtained from the base and ionic part is always obtained from the acid. So first one will be the cationic part, sodium. When we add hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, that will be the base. So here we can write here sodium hydroxide. So sodium chloride is obtained from the reaction, acid base reaction. The base will be sodium hydroxide and acid will be chlorine, that is hydrochloric acid. We know that in hydrochloric acid chlorine is there, so the acid which contain chlorine would be hydrochloric acid. Upon reaction we will get sodium chloride plus water. This we have already discussed, right? Now we have to find the nature of the salt. Sodium hydroxide, as we have already learned, sodium hydroxide is a strong base. And hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. We know that when strong base react with strong acid, the salt will be neutral. So this salt will be neutral. Got it, children? Very easy, no? Now let us find the second chemical equation here, potassium nitrate. So potassium nitrate, potassium, when we write potassium nitrate, potassium is obtained from the base KOH, potassium hydroxide, plus NO3, that is nitric acid, HNO3. HNO3 will give you KNO3 plus water. Got it? Now we have to find KOH is a strong acid or strong base or weak base. KOH is a strong base, so here we are right, strong base. Nitric acid is also strong acid. We know that strong base, strong acid will give you neutral salt. Got it? Now let us find out another salt, chemical nature of another salt, zinc sulfate. So when we talk about zinc sulfate, I am writing here zinc sulfate. Zinc is the cationic part. So zinc is obtained from zinc hydroxide. We can write here zinc hydroxide. When reacts with zinc sulfate, sulfate is obtained from the acid sulfuric acid. So we write here H2SO4. And dear students, upon reaction we will be getting here zinc sulfate plus water we are going to get. Now zinc hydroxide is a weak base. This is weak base and sulfuric acid is a strong acid. So when weak base react with the strong acid, see here weak base react with the strong acid, here strong will be the dominant factor, so the salt what we obtain will be acidic or basic. This will be acidic. Got it? Very easy. Now let us see the next salt, that is sodium carbonate. So sodium carbonate, sodium is obtained from NaOH, sodium hydroxide, and when carbonate is obtained from carbonic acid. The formula of carbonic acid is H2CO3. Upon this we will be getting here Na2CO3. I am not balancing this chemical reaction. You balance all the chemical reactions, right? Now sodium hydroxide, as we know that it is a strong base and carbonic acid is a weak acid. So here is C, weak acid. Now dominant factor will be preferred here, so strong base. So the salt obtained, see here strong base, weak base. So here strong base, weak acid here, right? Weak acid, strong base, weak acid will give you basic salt. So by knowing this information, if you could find the parent acid and parent base and having the knowledge of weak acid, weak base, strong acid, strong base, you can easily find the chemical nature of the salt obtained. Got it, children? So this way you can easily find the chemical nature of salt. So this is all about the salts. Now let us understand one of the most important salt which we use in our day-to-day life, that is common salt, sodium chloride. Dear children, as we know that sodium chloride is obtained from the sea, right? So this sodium chloride is cheaply available, or a cheap salt which is available in the sea, and this sodium chloride is one of the most important raw material for making various other products which we are using in our day-to-day life. What are those? So this session we are going to discuss all those chemical substances which we obtain from sodium chloride, and as far as examination is concerned, these salts or these substances which we use in our day-to-day life will be asked. Let us see as per the examination point and as per the syllabus also. So let us see how sodium chloride is used as a raw material for making various day-to-day products. Dear children, when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, then we get some chemical substances. Let us understand this. So as we are seeing the use of sodium chloride as a raw material for various chemicals, let us understand with an equation so that you will understand it in a better way. So see here, sodium chloride, an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. The aqueous solution of sodium chloride, as you know that aqueous solution is the solution which is obtained when something is dissolved in water. So when sodium chloride is dissolved in water, we call it as aqueous solution of sodium chloride, and this aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also known as brine solution. Children, keep in mind, this is brine solution. So brine solution is the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. When electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, we will get some products. What are they? They are sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen plus chlorine. So this is one of the most important chemical reaction. By using this chemical reaction, we get some byproducts. By using these products, we can make number of chemical substances which we use in our day-to-day life. Dear students, this reaction is also known as chlor-alkali process. What is that? It is called chlor-alkali process. Why? Because here sodium hydroxide so obtained here, this is called alkali, and we are also getting chlorine gas. In this chemical reaction, we are getting chlorine gas as well as an alkali, that is sodium hydroxide. So this equation, this chemical reaction is also known as chlor-alkali process. As a result of this chlor-alkali process, we are getting sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine. And uses of sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine is already there in your textbook. Just you go through the uses of this. By making use of this chemical reaction, how various chemical substances are produced, about that we are going to discuss. Dear children, now we are going to discuss one of the most important chemical substance which we use in our day-to-day life, that is bleaching powder. Yes children, it is bleaching powder. As you know the use of bleaching powder, now you should know how this bleaching powder is produced, manufactured. So you should know the formula of bleaching powder. The chemical formula of bleaching powder is CaOCl2. This is also known as calcium oxychloride, right? So how bleaching powder is produced, about that we will see. When chlorine gas is passed, where do we get chlorine gas? We know that in a chlor-alkali process we are getting chlorine, right? When this chlorine gas is passed through a solution of calcium hydroxide, that is slaked lime or lime water we say, then what happens? Let us see here, calcium hydroxide. When chlorine gas, what we have obtained in the above chlor-alkali process, when it is passed through calcium hydroxide, then we get CaOCl2, that is bleaching powder, and we get water. What is children? So this is the way by which we can prepare bleaching powder. So when in so as far as the preparation of bleaching powder is concerned, simple, you just remember the chemical equation. By using this chemical equation, you can easily define the, or you can explain the preparation. So here, when you pass chlorine gas through a solution of calcium hydroxide, then calcium oxychloride, also known as bleaching powder, is produced. Now, what are the various properties and uses of this bleaching powder? Where do we use this bleaching powder? Dear students, the most important use of bleaching powder is it acts as a bleaching agent in various industries. Firstly, it acts as a bleaching agent in cotton and linen in the textile industry. Secondly, it acts as a bleaching agent for bleaching wood pulp in paper factories. And finally, it also acts as a bleaching agent in laundries for washing clothes. So altogether, we can say that the main purpose of bleaching powder in the industry level is as a bleaching agent. Got it? Now see the second important use of bleaching powder, that is it acts as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. We have already learned that oxidizing agent is a chemical substance which is capable of supplying oxygen. So in bleaching powder we find oxygen, so it can supply oxygen. So it acts as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. And the third and most important use of bleaching powder in our day-to-day life is for disinfecting drinking water. So in our locality, the water treatment plant uses this bleaching powder to disinfect water in order to get it free from germs. So these are the most important uses of bleaching powder. Dear students, in CBSE examinations, the questions on bleaching powder will be asked, especially from the uses of bleaching powders. So dear students, you should be very thorough and familiar with the uses what we have discussed. Children, you are very much familiar with a type of salt which we use in our day-to-day life for cooking purpose, for making crispy pakoda, soft and spongy idli, vada and all those things. One of the substance we use is baking soda. The chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Now let us see how this component is prepared. Let us see the preparation of baking soda. So before that, you should know the molecular formula of baking soda. It is NaHCO3. It is also known as sodium hydrogen carbonate, right? Now let us see how it is prepared. The main raw material for the preparation of baking soda is sodium chloride. Dear students, when sodium chloride is made to react with some other chemical substances such as water, carbon dioxide and ammonia, NH3, then we get two products, namely NH4Cl plus the main product NaHCO3, that is baking soda. What is children? So this is how baking soda can be prepared by making use of this chemical reaction. So the thing is, you have to remember the four reacting species. Upon chemical reaction, we will get ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is our baking soda. In the next section, we will be discussing about how the food materials are made soft and spongy with the help of baking soda. Now, let us see the properties and uses of this sodium hydrogen carbonate. Let us now discuss various uses of sodium hydrogen carbonate. The first use of sodium hydrogen carbonate is for making baking powder. Dear students, you should know what is a baking powder. Baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and a mild edible acid such as tartaric acid. When baking powder is heated or mixed with water, the reaction goes like this, as you can see now. Here in this chemical equation, you can see very well that upon heating it or mixing it with any acid, here H plus is written. Here H plus is the ion obtained from acid, as we already learned before that all the acids can displace hydrogen ion.
So the displaced hydrogen ion, when reacts with the sodium hydrogen carbonate, then carbon dioxide, water and sodium salt of the particular acid will be produced. Now you see here, due to this chemical reaction, we are getting carbon dioxide as one of the product, right? Here, when sodium hydrogen carbonate is mixed with the food item, upon heating, what happens, carbon dioxide gas is evolved, and this carbon dioxide gas escapes from the food material as a result of this, creating some space between the particles. Thereby it causes the bread or the cake to rise, making them soft and spongy. The second use of sodium hydrogen carbonate is, it is an active ingredient in antacids, and you should know the chemical nature of the salt is basic salt. Due to this basic nature, the excess acid produced in our stomach is neutralized due to the basic nature of this salt. So we can say that sodium hydrogen carbonate acts as an active ingredient in all the antacids. Thirdly, it is also used in soda acid fire extinguishers. As we know that when this soda reacts with the acid, produces carbon dioxide, and you should know carbon dioxide is the gas which can be used to extinguish fire. So sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in soda acid fire extinguishers.
Children, you are very much familiar with the washing soda, which we will be using in our day-to-day life for washing clothes. Apart from this chemical substance is also engaged in various other activities. Let us see all those things. Before that, let us first see how this washing soda is prepared.
Let us understand the preparation of washing soda. So as far as washing soda is concerned, it is molecular formula be Na2CO3.10H2O. In this molecular formula, you see here 10H2O. Here dot 10H2O is the water of crystallization. Now we see the preparation of washing soda. In the previous section, we have seen that when sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is baking soda, is heated, then we used to get one of the products, that is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 plus water and carbon dioxide, right? Upon recrystallization of sodium carbonate, one of the products we get is washing soda. Let us see that chemical reaction also. Here Na2CO3, upon recrystallization, we will be getting here Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. That means in this chemical reaction we have to add water. How many molecules? Here 10 molecules of water is to be added. These water molecules enter into the formula unit, what we call here washing soda. Dear students, remember this chemical equation, which is the preparation of washing soda. Now let us see the uses. Sodium carbonate, that is washing soda, is used in glass, soap and paper industries. Secondly, washing soda is used in the manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. Sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purposes. It is used for removing permanent hardness of water. Dear students, you should know what is a hard water. Hard water is the water which contains salts such as magnesium, calcium. In order to remove permanent hardness, washing soda is used. In place of soap, which cannot work on hard water, washing soda can be used. Dear students, water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt. For example, copper sulfate, what we see, which is in blue color, this is because some sort of water molecules get into its molecular formula. So actual formula of copper sulfate is CuSO4 dot 5H2O. Here dot 5H2O is the water of crystallization. Actually, the water of crystallization is the water molecules present in the formula unit of the compound. They do not make the salt wet. So we can say that the water of crystallization does not make the crystals or the salt wet. They appear to be dry, but upon heating it, the water molecule will go away. So the blue color of copper sulfate is because of dot 5H2O, that is water of crystallization. Upon heating, the blue color disappears. Once again, when you mix water, then the blue color reappears. This is due to the fact that the required number of water molecules making them blue will be absorbed by the crystals. So this is all about water of crystallizations. There are number of crystals available in the nature which has water of crystallization. Here washing soda has 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Likewise, various other crystals have different molecules of water. We call it as water of crystallization.
Students, let us now learn one of the most important chemical substance which finds very much useful in making decorative items, as you can see on the screen. So all these items are prepared with the help of plaster of Paris. In short, we call it as POP. This POP is also used in giving support to the fractured bones, as you can see this kind of arrangement, right? So here a white color substance is applied where the bone fracture has taken place, which gives external support. So this substance is called plaster of Paris. So this component is very important, right? Let us now learn how this POP, that is plaster of Paris, is prepared.
So in order to prepare plaster of Paris, you should know the plaster of Paris. The molecular formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 dot half H2O. Again, you see here dot H2O is there, right? So here dot half H2O is water of crystallization. The name of this compound, the IUPAC name of this compound would be calcium sulfate. Here calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Let us understand this. See here, calcium sulfate is available, so we named it as calcium sulfate. Here water molecule, the name of water molecule is a hydrate. Here half water molecule is there, so half means hemi, so hemihydrate. This is how we can understand the molecular formula of plaster of Paris. And also in short, plaster of Paris is named as POP. What is children? Now let us see the preparation of plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris can be prepared on heating gypsum. So the molecular formula of gypsum is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. Again you see here dot 2H2O, which is water of crystallization. At controlled temperature at 373 Kelvin, then 1.5 molecules of water will be removed and CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is what the plaster of Paris is. So this is one of the very simple way by which plaster of Paris could be produced from the gypsum. But here you have to keep in mind that the temperature should be controlled. If we heat further or beyond this temperature, what will happen? All the water molecules will be removed, evaporated, we can say, right? So there will not be any water molecules left. So plaster of Paris we won't be getting if we heat, if we supply temperature greater than 373 Kelvin. So
Students, you are much familiar with the cement, right? When the cement is mixed with water, sand and stones and all, and keeping it for some time, then it becomes hard. The hard nature of the cement is because of a chemical substance. The name of the chemical substance is gypsum. So dear students, I believe you understood how chemical nature of different types of salts are known on the basis of the formula which we have discussed. Moving further, we have seen some of the most important chemical substances which we use in our day-to-day life and how they are prepared and what are the various uses and properties of those substances. So dear students, that's all we have in today's class. See you all on another day with a new topic. Till then, keep learning, take good care of yourself.